Hey there, Tiffany and Brad here with Years of Years. It's This Day in Disney for May 14th.
May 14th.
May the 14th view.
Yeah, right? Can't give it up.
We can't give up. We had so much fun last week. Oh my
night
goodness.
at Disney in months.
Yeah.
And you could feel it. It just felt like we turned a corner and we're moving to the future.
Hey.
Futurism is back in style.
We've always been futurists.
Of course, I'm saying in
never
style.
stopped.
Futurism should always be the fashion.
Oh yeah.
And someone who sees the galaxy far, far away, but schools us on the future still, such a wizard.
Who are you talking about? Oh, George Lucas was
Yes.
born today, May 14th, back in 1944. Right? Not too long ago.
No, a youngin'.
Yeah, so what? He's in his 70s now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's an American film director, producer, screenwriter, if you didn't already know, and entrepreneur. Lucas is best known for creating Star Wars, of course, and Indiana Jones franchises.
Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously founded Lucasfilm, LucasArts, and Industrial Light and Magic.
Oh, I mean, pretty much everything that we have to be grateful for in sound and vision, like in the late 90s and early 2000s, was running through there. I mean, they were doing every film.
Yeah, they really were. Absolutely. And he sold Lucas Film or Industrial Light and Magic and all of that to the Walt Disney Company back in 2012.
There you go.
So,
And a good move.
yeah.
And I don't know if you're going to read this, but he said at the time that he was trusting them because of their care of stories and storytelling. I know he's expressed different sentiments like since then, but at the moment, like, he was very, very trusting of handing off all of it. And
Yeah.
I mean, fan, critiques aside, like, I actually feel Disney's doing a marvelous job. And I'm not just saying that for this video. I think it's going well. Let's keep.
Okay, all right. So his films are among the 100 highest grossing movies ever in North American box office, of course, adjusted for inflation. So Lucas is considered a significant figure of the 20th century new Hollywood movement.
Okay.
Okay, so
And they kind of were all in
important.
school together?
Yeah.
Right?
Well, yeah.
Spielberg,
a lot of those.
Lucas. Yeah.
Uh-huh. So, of course, we know him beginning off, not
Was
the
Coppola
first.
in school with him too? I think so. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No. So the first film that we know really well from was American Graffiti, right? And so he went to school. He started out in Modesto, California. I don't think I said that. He was born in Modesto. So
Not on Tatooine.
he loved racing cars.
A lot like it.
That's what his passion was.
Okay.
Racing.
There you
He loved going to the races, watching and racing.
Thus, American Graffiti. I mean, it's centered a lot around cars.
Yeah,
and
for
cruising.
sure. For sure. But he really got into film. And he basically was in a car crash. And that actually affected him. He was wearing a seatbelt, but the seatbelt snapped and he flew out the window, and that's what saved his life. So after that accident, he decided to move towards film. So he had been going back and forth. He was already playing around with cameras and really getting, insights from some really, really cool people from Europe and things like that. He was definitely learning about film and attracted to film. And so he ended up going to the University of Southern California, the School of Cinematic Arts. And back then, this was one of the first schools that focused on motion picture film. And so, yes, a lot of big names of people. Actually, they were all friends together. His dorm room was with Randall Kleiser. Kleiser's the one who produced Grease.
Okay.
Wow. Yep. So then and then he was friends with Walter Murch, and Murch did Apocalypse Now, The Godfather 1 and 2, American Graffiti. He was a film editor.
Okay.
And then, yes, Spielberg also, and Hal Barwood and John Millis, both working on huge films back then that are really starting out. They all started out together, but John Frederick Millis actually also got an Academy Award for the screenwriting of Apocalypse Now.
Yeah.
So those are the like names that you don't hear a lot, but if you can imagine, they're all working together in school and then have these huge careers later. But George Lucas and Spielberg are the ones who actually work together, and specifically on Indiana Jones.
Yeah, very nice. You know, I mean, all of this journey, all of this story, it's awesome. And honestly, you know, I hate to digress, but his museum was supposed to be built in Chicago, and like we used to be Chicago residents.
Yeah.
And you know, in addition to losing the Olympics, losing this museum because of just how they operate things in their city and in their parks,
right,
really lost favor with Chicago for me. I mean, it's literally one of the reasons that we left. You know, losing this museum, it could have been wonderful. Like, Lucas had some specific requests, and they weren't difficult, and they just were immovable.
Yeah.
Just unbelievable. So.
Yeah. Oh, so are you complaining?
I am about Chicago. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not about Lucas.
Yeah, we also lost the Olympics.
That's what I'm saying,
yeah. Decisions.
But this was really the clincher for me. Losing the Lucas Museum, I was just like, can you attract and keep anything? You know? So,
yeah, very disappointing.
Sorry about that, George.
Yeah.
But we're not there anymore.
Yeah, but I think there is a lot of debate. Like, I know that George Lucas still collaborated on things like Clone Wars and even Rebels, and right?
I think there was, yes, because that was not long after the acquisition, and he had such a good relationship and working relationship with everyone working on it.
Well, just with the storytelling and stuff, he came in. I think he also worked on the Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull with Jeff Nathanson. He collaborated. So he was collaborating a lot before turning everything over, but also afterwards. I think he still had involvement in
I think
some of the Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, less than ever. But
and he may still now, I don't know. So it's interesting for me. I do like all the original Star Wars films, like the first 6. I like quite a bit, and
I love The Force Awakens.
Right.
I really,
The Force Awakens.
I enjoy
really good.
them all.
I
enjoy them all. I love Solo. I think Solo is a great
I like
film.
Solo. I think it was.
I think the aliens are great. I think they captured everything great. The look great. I think they're doing a great job. I mean, Rogue One, one of the best Star Wars films ever. Like, it's going well. I think we're way too hard on it.
I think, I don't know if this is totally true, but I do feel like maybe Disney is worried too much about what fans think, and they're like not being as creative as they would if they just didn't worry about it. The whole fan thing, like
canceling things and just
but I'm just saying,
I mean, at least we got the Obi-Wan back in production.
I think it's cool that fans have opinions, but they're also not, George Lucas.
And
they're not
the loudest
creation.
aren't necessarily always the majority.
Or creative.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
right. Maybe they're just not seeing it.
An opinion, whereas people behind these films are highly talented and deserve to be where they're at and making film. I mean, come on, The Mandalorian. Mandalorian is amazing, and I know everyone really liked it, but can you imagine if throughout the season or going forward, if people were like, no, change this, change that, and they followed that suit? Like, that would be so sad because the way that it was done, I think
part of the success of the show was that you were constantly like, whoa, they're going there, they're throwing it there. Like, it was a refreshing show really in that sense. Yeah, it had courage.
So I mean, I just want to say in this episode that I really appreciate George Lucas's creativity. I really appreciate what he did and what he created in the Star Wars universe and with Indiana Jones. And he's a very creative guy. He could have been a car racer, racing cars. I don't think I'm saying the right term for that, but anyway, he also had a
race car
great
driver.
eye.
Pretty close.
Yeah, and a lot of people, contemporaries of his, said he had a great eye and that he was good at what he was doing, and he created a universe, you know, and
technology and sound.
Yeah.
And
oh my goodness,
you know, marketing and licensing. I mean, nobody even believed in licensing toys before he said, "That's all I want." And they were like, "Okay, whatever, take it." And boom.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I feel like we could definitely cover and go back and do more talking about George Lucas on another This Day.
But we
Maybe
just
next
wanted to
year
say
for his
happy birthday.
Happy birthday to him. We'll be talking about George Lucas again in the future. Tell us your thoughts on Star Wars, the franchise, where it's going, and what you think of George Lucas and what he's done. We'd love to hear from you guys. And that's it for This Day in Disney, and we'll see you next time. Bye!